Stimulus checks have been approved for millions and millions of people. I have the new updated list of who will be getting these payments and how much you can expect to see. I have all the details and what you need to know right here in this video. Let's get right into it. All right, so many of us in this community have been wondering for a very long time now, when will Congress finally approve another stimulus check? Well, at this point, stimulus checks have been approved for millions and millions of people. So in this video, I do want to walk through who is going to be getting these checks, how much you can expect to see, and when you can expect to get these payments. So this is the newest information. This list is continuously updating, so I do want to give you the latest details, as I do know many of us right here are wondering, when will that next check arrive? When is Congress finally going to throw in the towel? And when are they finally going to approve and send out another stimulus check for millions and millions of people who actually need that extra money going forward right now, especially with all this inflation data that we've been talking about lately, and prices continue to rise literally on everything. So I do have that full list for you right here in this video, so let's get right into it. However, really quickly before we do, if you're new here or if you haven't done so yet, make sure to hit that subscribe button right down below the video. I'm doing all this research each and every day on your behalf so that you don't need to, breaking it down into these short videos so that you can stay updated with everything going on right now, especially with all of these latest announcements, things that are coming out, any money, packages, proposals, checks, stimulus, raises, anything else that's going on right now. I want to make sure that I'm finding it as quickly as possible, laying it all out, all the details in these videos so that you can take advantage of anything that may be popping up right now. Things are changing very rapidly right now. Programs continue to pop up. The administration, Congress is approving things. I know it doesn't really seem like it, but they actually are approving things. And as a result of that last stimulus package from a little over a year ago, there are provisions within that still has billions and billions of dollars on the table that's specifically focused on the low income and, of course, fixed income through all of these different programs. So as these things are popping up, as they're being approved, I want to make sure that you know about it right away. So again, thanks so much for joining me. Make sure to subscribe down below so you don't miss any videos going forward and any updates going forward during this very busy time. All right, thanks again. Let's jump right into this and discuss what this is actually pertaining to and all of the millions of people out there who can be eligible for checks right now. So these checks are already approved in many instances. So all of these checks are on the state level. Now here's the thing. As we continue to wait for Congress to approve a broad stimulus check that would go out to literally everybody across the entire country, there are many states out there right now who are approving stimulus checks on the state level. Remember, states are flush with cash right now. They have billions and billions of dollars that was shuffled to them as a result of the $350 billion that was sent out to states last year as a result of the last stimulus package. $350 billion. A lot of states are sitting on this money and they don't have a clue of what to do with it. But don't worry. They'll find something to do with it. They'll spend it in some way, shape, or form. But at the same time, a lot of these states have billions and billions of dollars of surplus right now. A lot of money out there on the table. And a lot of these states are implementing these stimulus check programs to send some of that money out. By the way, it's usually a very, very small portion of the money that they have actually back out into the pockets of the people. Well, as a result of that, they're actually encompassing many different states right now that are sending out these checks. Now, here's the thing. The checks are approved in many cases, going out any time between the next few days here, the next few weeks, and even over the next couple months. So I do want to lay that out for you because here's the thing. On the state-by-state level, it's totally different. One state may be offering $300. Another state may be offering $850. Another state may be offering $2,000, like Pennsylvania, right? Yeah, so there's a whole list here, and the criteria to get the payment is pretty much different across all the states. It's somewhat the same, but generally across the states that are out there right now that have already approved checks, for the most part, the dollar amount is different, the distribution time is different, the qualifications and the eligibility is different. So we got to run through all the details on this because it's very important. And if you're in one of the states, I want to make sure that you know what to do in order to actually get these payments. Here's the thing. Just being a resident of the state and not taking any kind of action will not actually get you a check. In many cases here, you do need to take some kind of action in order to get the check. Maybe it's simply filling out a simple form online. Maybe it's simply filling out a tax return. Maybe it's simply registering somewhere on one of the state websites. You got to do something in most cases to get the check. You don't just wait for it and it arrives in your mailbox. That's generally not how it happens. Just like the stimulus checks that were distributed by the Treasury and the IRS, again, many people here in the community who maybe are non-filers, and again, many people around the country, you probably had to fill out the non-filer tool. Remember that one from about a year and a half ago? The non-filer tool. Oh yeah, a little trip down memory lane. We talked about that a lot right here in many videos. That was something that many of you had to fill out in order to get your check about a year and a half ago. Remember that? Anyway, the same situation for many states out there as well. A lot of times you got to do a little bit just to get the money, but it's totally worth it, right? So anyway, with that being said, I do want to bring my wife, Corey, in. She's going to read this list to you, and she's going to read the whole details about each of these states. So, like I said, each individual state has their own criteria, their own little plan as far as what you need to do to get the check, okay? So, let me have her come in. She will read the details. There's over a dozen states out there right now that already have checks approved and that are going out anytime between basically the coming days here, the next couple weeks, and over the next couple months, depending on the state. And I want you to make sure that you know about all of these programs, the checks that are available, and she'll have all the details for you right here in this little synopsis, right? So it breaks it all down, about a dozen states that are already approved. By the way, there are multiple states out there right now that have checks that are basically waiting approval. Pretty much everything's done. Like one state, for example, Pennsylvania. They have a $2,000 stimulus check on the table right now. They're just waiting final approval through the state legislature in Pennsylvania. So, I mean, seriously, $2,000 sitting on the table for Pennsylvania. They're just waiting for the lawmakers in that state to actually just do their final work. So yeah, that's one state alone. There's multiple different states out there right now that have a lot of money on the table just waiting that final approval. So anyway, I'll keep you posted with those programs as well. But with that being said, let's bring Corey in right now. She'll read that list to you, all the states, all the criteria, everything you need to know right here, right now. So with that being said, make sure to subscribe down below if you haven't done so yet. Share the video and go back and check out any of the other nearly 2,500 videos right here on the channel. And Corey, take it away. I'll catch you again later in the next video, and I hope this update helps you out. All right, Corey, it's all you. I'll see you again soon. See ya.
California. Governor Gavin Newsom in mid-March announced a plan that would send gas rebates to car owners with vehicles registered in California. The rebates would amount to one-time payments of $400 and would be sent in the form of debit cards. Under the gas rebate program, each individual could receive up to 2 payments. A family with more than 2 vehicles will only receive up to 2 payments. The proposal would be based on a person's vehicle registration. Georgia. Georgians who filed their 2020 and 2021 taxes may be eligible to receive a rebate funded by the state's tax surplus. The one-time payments will amount to $250 for single filers, $375 for heads of household, and $500 for married couples filing jointly. However, the amount received could be lower if the recipient owed money to the state in the form of taxes or delinquent child support payments. Hawaii. Residents who earn less than $100,000 may be eligible to receive a one-time payment worth $300. The payments could increase depending on the number of dependents. This means a family of 4 living in Hawaii and earning less than $100,000 annually could receive up to $1,200 in stimulus payments. Idaho. Governor Brad Little in January approved a bill that would send out checks to residents amounting to either $75 or 12% of their 2020 state tax, whichever amount is higher. The rebates were first sent out in March. Illinois. The state will provide rebates to adults and dependents this fall. The checks would amount to $100 for adults and $50 for dependents. In addition to rebates, Illinois is also pushing for $300 in property tax relief and a temporary freeze on school supply sales tax. Indiana. Indiana residents who filed their 2020 taxes before January 2020 are eligible to receive one-time stimulus checks worth $125. Married couples are set to receive up to $250 in payments. Maine. Individual taxpayers making less than $100,000, head of household making under $150,000, and married couples earning less than $200,000 annually and living in Maine may receive a one-time relief payment of $850 if they file their 2021 taxes by October 31st. New Jersey. Governor Phil Murphy last year approved legislation that would send out $500 checks to about 760,000 middle-class families in New Jersey. Recently, Murphy proposed to add workers who filed taxes with a tax identification number, or a TIN, as well as their spouses and dependents to the list of people eligible to receive money. New Mexico. Residents of the state of New Mexico will receive multiple checks. In July, individual taxpayers who earned under $75,000 and married couples who earned less than $150,000 and filed 2021 taxes will receive payments amounting to either $250 or $500, respectively. Officials in New Mexico will also send out additional payments of $500 for single filers and $1,000 for married filers in two payments to be released in June and August. New York. Governor Kathy Hochul enacted several budget relief plans that included property tax relief amounting up to $970. The state tax also enacted a suspension of the $6.16 of gas tax that will last until the end of the year.